Justine, good to see you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here.
And I have a lot of questions to ask you. And let's start with something as an introduction. If you meet someone for the first time and they ask you, what kind of art do you make? What do you answer?
So I'm playing electronic music, and for me, this art is a way to express myself. It's a way to express my emotion, and it's also a way for people to confront themselves to their own emotions. Music is like a way of really reflecting about yourself for me.
Mm-hmm. Did this the way you approach music or you perceive music was there before you started playing as well? Was it similar to how you perceive music now and this art?
It was like this actually, because I used to go to clubs since many years. I think I started to party. I was 20, and every time I went to nightclub, I was going to dance, of course, but I was going to listen music. I know some people are going to clubs to meet other people or to get drunk or to do this and that, but I went to club to listen music, and for me it was all the time oh wow, it's a soundtrack of some emotions, and it helped me to take decisions in my life or to think about things about my life, how to be a better person, and so it's like a soundtrack of a life for me. So that's how I feel it.
And was you always electronic music for you, or did you have moments where you also instrumental music, singing music was important for you?
When I was young, I went to a lot of concerts, different kind of music, like more pop music, like rock, or some also EBM concert in small venue or even bigger venue. So I was always interested by music, more of course about electronic music, but I used to listen different kind of music. Now I am more focused on techno, and to be honest, since the last 4 years, I was listening techno all the time. So at home, at the gym, all the time. And sometimes some people ask me, "Oh yeah, do you listen some other style of music?" And I'm like, actually no. And this is a miss, because recently I started to listen other styles, and it helps me a lot for my creativity, for my creative process. And it's good to change, because if you are just stuck in one thing, you don't really evolve as a person and as an artist. So recently I started again to listen different kind of music, and I installed again Spotify because I didn't have it on my laptop and on my phone. So I think since the last maybe 2 years I open a bit more my
horizon and inspirations.
Yeah.
Just a quick word before we go back to the interview. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast. I'm Joseph, and this is the HoS Sound Studio. If you enjoy this content, please consider liking and commenting on this very episode, and also following us on the platform where you listen to or you watch the podcast, but also follow us on social media. If you have suggestions of guests that you really would like us to interview, see the link in the description. There's a form where you can submit suggestions for guests, and also if you have questions for them. Once again, thanks so much for watching and listening to the podcast. We love what we do. I hope to see you soon on a dance floor. And you produce music as well as playing. And what inspires your production these days?
I started to go clubbing sober. So I really choose the artist I want to see. It's not like before, because before I was going to clubs and I can stay 10 or 16 hours. And now I really choose the act I want to listen. So for example, 3 weeks ago, I went to see Function. I just choose Function. I want to go to listen Function. 2 weeks ago, Dasha Rush. I try to I choose Dasha Rush. I went to listen Dasha Rush, just for them. I come for first minute and I leave for the last minutes. I don't stay more. And so I think when you are sober is completely different approach. And first of all, I don't move from the dance floor, so I don't go to toilet. I don't even go to the bar, and I can really focus on the storytelling of the set. I can really focus on the mood change of the set. I can really observe and analyze the transition, to be aware also about my own emotions. And this is this is something really helped me to grow as a person, like to go and to be sober and to analyze and just to listen to music, not moving from the dance floor.
Yeah.
And in general, when I leave the club, I feel inspired because I understand what the DJ did, and like, okay, he did this, but now I understand the point where we want to bring us,
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to go sober, clubbing sober, yeah.
We were talking about it just before we started recording.
Yeah.
And like, does it feel you are more present, you remember more, you have even more details about what you remember?
Yeah, exactly. And also when you meet people in the clubs and when you have conversation, it's completely different, because when I'm going home, the next days I remember who I met and I remember what I was talking about. Yeah. Because sometimes you drink a bit of alcohol and 2 days after you was, I don't remember what I said. This person proposed me something, but I'm not sure exactly, so I need to write it, to ask. But now I remember everything. I remember the set of the artist I wanted to see, and I remember the people I saw, and I remember the conversation I had. And the mind is clear.
Yes.
So it's different.
Yeah.
It's, for me, better, at least for now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like having a photo that is not blurred. It's like detailed.
It's exactly this. Yeah. And when I leave the club in general now, I'm feeling like fulfilled and positive. Because I used to go to club and to stay 16 hours in the club, 10 hours in the club. And sometimes I left the club and I was in a very negative mood, down. Oh yeah, the music, I didn't like the music, or oh yeah, the dance floor was not good, or this. Everything was negative, It's maybe normal after 16 hours of party. You are tired, like the brain is not like clean. And now when I left the club, I'm positive and I'm hopeful for my own set, my own career, and this helps me a lot.
Yeah. Also, when you go back to the studio, for example, you mentioned that you remember specifically how a DJ played music, what they created, the journey. Do you, for example, you have a very good session, you hear an inspiring set from another artist. Do you go to the studio immediately after, or there's usually some time between the session and the studio?
It depends. It depends if I have things to do during the week. It depends if I have inspiration, because I remember a few years ago, I forced myself to do Ableton every day. Okay, let's do it. And okay, if it doesn't work, just force, because I was thinking, if you forced, it's gonna come. But at the end, it don't come, because it's inspiration. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So now what I learned to do is, every time when I'm going to a club, if I feel it the next day, I'm going on Ableton. Because of course you can feel inspired by the set you saw. You listen. But it's also about how you feel, how you slept the night. Sometimes you are good mood, sometimes you are not good mood. And what I'm trying to do now, every time when I'm producing before, I'm trying to listening music 15 minutes. So it's a listening session. So I'm going on SoundCloud, I put my headphone, put my phone away, and for 15 minutes I will listen tracks, new tracks and old tracks. It's just a listening session,
Your tracks or other people's tracks?
Other people's tracks. And this give me inspiration and makes me more focused, because it's like the preparation before diving into the software. So I was I'm listening new tracks, sometimes random tracks, sometimes tracks I really like and I'm trying to analyze. I can take notes also, but it's really more focusing on the listening sessions. And after 15 minutes, I stopped.
Yeah.
In general, I take a coffee. It's reset my brain, and I can dive into the software. Yeah.
You mentioned that you kind of get into the zone this way. You mentioned also to avoid distraction and start focusing. What are the things you avoid doing to avoid distractions when you want to be in the zone?
Okay, so first of all, I'm very active person, almost hyperactive. I like to do millions of things at the same time. Sometimes I can start to play on my decks. After 10 minutes, I can stop and going on Ableton because I have an idea. And after I'm thinking about something, so I do something else. So what I'm trying to do now, and it's really recent, is I put a time on my phone, for example, 2 hours or 3 hours. This is the maximum. And I put my phone away, far from me. And I try to focus only on Ableton, only on like trying things or moving forward with my like music, because if I have my phone, this really distracts me. It's actually the worst thing who can distract me, because I check if I have like message of my friend or my girlfriend. Or
You're out.
completely. And this is the worst to kill the inspiration and to kill the motivation, because I lose a lot of time. And I think it's many people, it's like this. So I just set up an alarm for 2-3 hours because it's the maximum. Otherwise I can't stay more focused. I put it far and I'm trying to produce. And after it rings and I'm going back on my phone. And sometimes it's so hard because, oh my God, 3 hours passed and I really feel, I need to check my phone. But it's not really important, but I'm trying to, like, let's say, give dedication of time for producing. But I always put an alarm because if I have my phone near to me, it's over.
And the phone is away from your side, let's say.
Yeah, sometimes it's even away from my bedroom, but I leave like the door stay open, like this I can hear the alarm. But yeah, more far it is, better it is.
Yeah.
And in general, I also cut internet. Like this, I don't check things online. But before producing also, like I do some things also, which is very inspiring for me, is I check some tutorials, some masterclass from different artists, from Home of Sound also, and from other artists that I really like. And I just like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, not everything, but just to like pick up some ideas. And this can really like open my mind and to go into the process. Yeah.
It gets into the zone for real, like to also the production zone.
Yeah. But these things like maybe take like, let's say 20 minutes before to go into the software, because I need to listen music, I need to check a bit of tutorials. Sometimes I take notes about how I feel, my emotions, or if I have some specific sound in mind, I take notes, and after I can start. Yeah.
And are there particular situations in your life, emotions that give you inspiration more often?
For sure when I'm going to the clubs, because you can listen like very extremely qualitative music from some artists. Like I was making reference about Function or Dasha Rush recently, and like the way how they're mixed music, the track selection, the mood changed. Like this is like for me like another level, And yeah, in general when I'm going to clubs, after I have like inspiration. But it depends. Sometimes I have also a lot of inspiration when I'm feeling sad or when I'm disappointed about some specific situation. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, today I'm very motivated, so I will go to the gym and I will go music. It really depends the mood, actually. It really depends the mood. It really depends the music I listened before. It really depends the act I saw before. It's a bit random, actually.
There's no one thing that...
No, it's random. It's about also if you had a good night, or if you, I don't know, spent a good evening the day before, or if you had an argument with your friend or your girlfriend, It depends. It's many things at the same time,
Yeah. And do you feel, for example, when you are in a positive state of mind, or you have positive emotions of joy and happiness, compared to when you have sadness, can you make music and have inspiration from both, let's say, painful emotions and pleasurable emotions?
Yeah, for sure. When I'm feeling more happy and like if I learn good news, I'm more in this kind of happy key, like happy music, like kind of happy. But if I'm sad, I'm more like going into, I want to search for like more the dark bass line and the weird sound, more like experimental. But it really depends the mood, actually.
Yeah. And in process-wise, is there a structure they use for, let's say, after you've done your ritual, this 15 to 20 minutes, now you are 3 hours in the studio, no phone, no distractions. Maybe you had a good experience, a good conversation with a friend that is giving you like something. And how do you then translate that into music? Do you have a structure that you follow, or it's very free?
No, it's a bit freestyle. I mean, when I open my Ableton, I have already my kick, of course, like something for the drums. But this is my base, let's say. So I open my project and I have like a template, which I did it before.
Ableton? In Ableton?
In Ableton, yeah. So like the kick, like the sub, the bass line. After I can, of course, do some adjustment. This is my bass. And it depends because, sometimes I just put a sequencer and I play with the sequencer. Sometimes I just put some notes in the MIDI and I just bought a new VST, so I experimented. Like it's more freestyle. But I have all the time my bass, like my template, for sure. Yeah. Which I don't touch a lot.
Yeah.
A bit, but not so much.
But it's a good starting point to get you in the
process. Completely. But
sorry.
No, sorry. No, at some point I think it's also good to start again from scratch. Now, what I try to do is I had a specific template for my first EP, released on Dynamic Reflection. Yeah. So all the things were based on the same, kick or bass line. But now I'm working on a second EP and I deleted this template because it's also too easy otherwise and it can start to be also a bit boring. So I started again from scratch for the EP I'm working now. Hopefully it's gonna be released soon. But I changed my my workflow and my template. Yeah. And after this one I will probably also delete it or make another one because it's also different mood. Like the first EP on Dynamic Reflection was more about mental techno and trippy and bells here and there. Like now the second one is more like groovy, driving, and let's see for the next one. But I think it's good to change also, to reset everything and to clean. And also because I learn new things, like every week you learn new things because of tutorials, because talking with people. And I know some people, they stay with all the time the same kick, and why not? But at some point it's good also to experiment. It's what makes music is also so
interesting also for you as a producer, like
completely. It's also like good to like surprise yourself and going more deeper into the sound design, because if it's already banned,
yes. And do you feel, for example, how long have you been producing for now?
Wow, I think I started during Corona, so when was this?
5 years,
5 years ago. But the rhythm was always up and down. At the beginning, I tried to force myself. Let's do it every day, because it's like this. If you do it every day, it's gonna you will remember more easy, and you will be faster. So I forced myself, even if I didn't really understand what I was doing. And after I stopped to do it because I couldn't do the sound I wanted to do, and I started again. So let's say I do this since 5 years, but it was not really with a regular rhythm. Sometimes it was 3 months intensive, sometimes 3 months without anything. For example, for the EP on Dynamic Reflection last year, after it was out, I stopped completely because I needed a break. Like I needed a creative break. I spent a lot of time on these tracks, and I really need to do something else, But now I have a different approach. I'm just doing it when I feel it.
Okay, you don't force it anymore.
Before I was you need to do it because it's like this, otherwise you will never develop your knowledge. And actually no, you need to do it. Of course you need to force a bit yourself, but not like every day from 8 to 6. This doesn't work when you force too much. So now I'm going more with the flow, and also in my DJ set I'm going more with the flow, and I think this is better because these kind of things you can surprise yourself more. And the inspiration is different for sure.
Do you find in changing this part of your process of trying to push it too much and now more relaxed, do you find more joy for yourself in the actual process?
Completely. Because after the EP on Dynamic Reflection, I really needed a break, For some people, they really like to produce, and it's a need for them to produce every day, and they are curious, they are a bit nerd, but I'm not extremely nerd for production, and I'm not also extremely curious. I'm interested about the topic, but I'm less interested about the topic than... I prefer DJing, digging music, improving my technical skill, than producing music. It's different for me. But I enjoyed more before, I enjoy more now because I started to understand also better, and we have excellent resources online which it helps me a lot.
Yeah.
But now I'm going with the flow, let's say, and I'm just doing it when I feel it. I don't put pressure on myself, except when I have deadlines, which is good also because this forced me to do it with a regular rhythm. Because if I don't have deadlines, sometimes I don't do anything for months.
Yeah.
I'm a bit lazy, honestly. But now I'm getting better, let's say.
Yeah.
I have more rhythm.
Yeah. It's a great thing because then you probably, your experience of doing it seems to get better because you're not forcing yourself. You found your way to make it, and it doesn't feel like you're going to a job where you're forced to.
Yeah. And
something.
I started to understand how it works also, because at the beginning, oh my God, I spent so much time on some details, and it sounded really bad.
Yeah.
And I learned because I needed months to finish one track, and I think it's also normal at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you are searching for the right sound, and this is normal. But now I started to let it go more easy. Like, why to spend months in one track? Sometimes it's finished, you think it's finished, so just let it go and do another one. And this I learned with time because, at the beginning I spent 6 months in 3 tracks, in 1 track.
On a clap.
Yeah.
It's usually.
This kind of thing. Just let it go. If someone likes it and want to release it like this is cool.
Yeah.
You will have people who will like it. You will have people who will hate it. And it's okay. It's just music. So
for sure.
with time, I just learned to let it go. And this is very good.
Yeah.
Because my brain was overthinking and
probably like stopping you from sending the music out and eventually releasing it. You're just producing more music.
Yeah, and when you spend so much time in a track or in some elements, you lose motivation at some point.
Yeah.
But now I'm okay. Now it sounds okay. Let's leave it. Let's do another one, and the other one is gonna be better, or maybe not better. But let's do again another one. And I work more faster now.
Yeah.
And I don't overthink like before.
It's a great thing to hear.
Yeah.
Do you feel you have found your own sound for now?
It's complicated to say because the taste evolve all the time.
Yes.
For now, I really like what I'm playing, for example. But maybe in 3 months, it's gonna change. For now, I really like which VST I use and which sound I'm trying to make because I have fun. So this is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I find my own sound, but it can evolve like in a completely different way. But what can I say is just now I enjoying what I'm playing and I enjoying what I'm trying to produce. So this is very cool. But everything can change. For example, when I'm listening some old tracks I made or even some old sets I recorded, my style completely changed in few years. So now I'm here with this sound, but maybe in 5 years it's gonna be completely different.
Yeah, I imagine.
Not too far from techno, but like 5 years ago, I was 133 BPM was my peak, I couldn't go more because I was also playing really deep stuff like hypnotic techno, like some like Luigi Tozzi, Claudio Pierci, like Blażej Majnowski, this kind of sound, And but I saw how I evolved from this period to now. I don't play at all this style. I still love it. I still really like it, but I don't play it anymore because things change. Corona happened.
Of course, yeah.
You get experience and your tastes just change. So I think we never really find our own sound.
Yeah.
It always evolves.
Yeah, or maybe we find it for a moment and then it changes. Because again, I think also if you think about your music as your taste and your personality as well.
Yeah.
We grow up so much.
For sure. I mean, we can also always find some element in some tracks. For example, like I always use this kind of rim shot with reverb in most of my tracks because it's an element really I like it,
Yeah.
So it can be part of your own sound or signature, but nothing is stuck with music, and you really evolved, and that's why it's exciting also.
Yeah, it is. Can you think about a track that for you is particularly inspiring from someone else perhaps, and what makes it special?
Yeah, I have actually a very, very favorite track. The name is Downtown 161, like Downtown 161. It's by Function. And I think it's a very beautiful track because it's between house and techno. it's very long tracks, like 11 minutes. And it's this track I played for my very last tracks, for my first closing at Berghain. So it has strong soul and big emotions. You have some delay, like some like strong bass line rolling, and like the sound design is timeless.
Yeah.
Like function music is timeless. Like
So
when I
interesting.
listen some tracks he did 11 years ago, you can listen it today.
Incubation. That.
Yeah, or
album. Somewhere.
Disaffected.
Yeah.
Like it's really, it didn't take any wrinkles. It's like just perfect, you know. And I think these tracks from Function, it's beautiful. It's like perfect storytelling and with a strong soul. And for me, a very good track is a track who give an impact with a strong signature.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I listened this track when I was happy, when I was sad, when I had like some health issue, when I was motivated. It's a soundtrack of a lifetime, I think.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Do you think you connect a lot with that track because you had a lot of experiences while listening to that track? Is that what makes you feel that track very special? Or you had a lot of experiences because you felt the track was special at the start?
No, I felt when I listened to the track, I was, wow, this track is
Interesting.
wow, you know. But I felt millions of emotion at the same time. I felt nostalgia, but I felt also euphoria and like joy, but also sadness. It's a track when you can feel everything at the same time, and that's why it really leave a marks on my person, you know, and on my life, I think. But it's very beautiful tracks. There is some vocals and like you have to listen it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was released on Treasure Records a few years ago already, and it's part of the Existence album, which is a beautiful piece of art. It's incredible. I'm a very big fan of Function signature. It's super beautiful music.
It is. Yeah. Incredible artist.
Yeah, completely. But for example, I think he has his own signature since the very beginning. You know, it evolved a bit, but like you listen Function or you listen Kong Ray, you can recognize immediately them. They have this sound, specific sound. You know, This is beautiful.
It is beautiful. And you now we're talking also about emotions. And in a previous interview, you said that with your sets, you want to, and your music in general, you want to give people emotions. So you want to let them reflect on the dance floor.
Yeah.
What emotions do you feel when you go and listen to music when you're not playing?
Well, it really depends the place. It really depends the music also. It really depends my mood. But in general, what I feel when I'm going to a club or to a concert to listen music is a feeling of happiness, because it really fills my soul, you know. It really makes me feel good at this moment. You forget your problems, you forget some useless details in your life that makes you stress, and it really, for me, it's music. It's a refuge for fears, for questions. It's a refuge, you know. And what I really like is it's a moment out of time when I'm going to listen music, and I just feel good. I feel safe, actually.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm taking decision about my life just when I'm going to listen a concert or when I'm going to listen some DJ set. It's meditative for me. Yeah. And I'm aware about my emotions, and I really listen carefully what happened, the structure, the mood change, you know, like I really analyze if it's a concert, or I try to analyze when the artist want to bring us. And it's just a moment out of times where I feel safe. So security and happiness.
So interesting. And it makes a lot of sense. An interpretation of what you say, sometimes you make big life decisions while you are on a dance floor and listening to music, is because you feel happy, good state, and safe.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. And sometimes I'm just thinking about things I don't have time to think about during the week, like completely random or easy thing. Like, I should spend more time with my family, because sometimes I'm listening music and you have this melodic and emotional tracks, and I'm thinking about my parents, and oh wow, they're in France, so I don't see them often. Yeah, maybe I should just call them more often.
Right.
I'm leaving the club, and tomorrow I'm calling my parents.
Yeah.
You know, it helps me to take decision to move forward or on some project. And okay, so on Monday I'm calling my parents, and I'm very happy. And this is why, because the night I had and the party I had helped me to take this decision.
Yeah.
And it really makes to take some decision. Oh yeah, I will change this in my life. Yeah, I can be a better person if I do this. And it's a soundtrack of of the moment, you know.
Yeah. Of life, and
Yeah,
it
and
supports these things.
It really helps me and give me motivation to put actions.
Yeah.
Let's say. Yeah.
Yeah, and how, for example, when you're playing, you're performing, maybe it's a long set in front of a crowd. Does that change for you? Your experience of emotions, this state of meditative state, is that similar or changes?
Well, yeah, it's kind of similar, but I'm always trying to do, of course, different moods, but it really depends how I feel, because sometimes you are more in the bangers mood and you want to give everything, like just like playing like big time stuff. Sometimes I'm more into self-reflecting, like things, so I will play more mental stuff or like more slow stuff or bleepy stuff. It really depends, but in general I'm trying still to do variation, but with still a gate between style. But it depends. For example, when I played the closing at Bergen, I had like 7.5 hours. So I try to do different moods, more danceable, more self-reflection, more like peak time stuff, more like old school stuff, melodic, nostalgia. So I prepared different playlists with mood, and it was about my mood. Okay, now I feel I'm like in euphoria mode. Okay, let's go to peak time playlist. Oh yeah, now I have headache, so I'm a bit sad. So okay, let's go to this deeper and slower techno, and let's reduce a bit the BPM, and let's play something less aggressive. So it really depends, but yeah, the 7.5 hours were like pretty long.
Yeah.
Very good, but pretty long.
That was there was the first closing you did like a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, first closing and also first set, because I used to play 6 hours of set somewhere in Germany, but never 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it was like a very big thing.
Yeah.
And I needed to organize properly my playlist, and now I have also a new system to identify my tracks. So because I watched this tutorial with DVS1, and he tagged all of his tracks, and now I used to do this, and it really helps me when I want to go to a specific mood, or if I want to avoid tracks with vocals, for example.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to have vocals in the tracks, so I put tag vocals, and I know it's not the track I will play now, because now I don't want vocals.
Right.
I put notes in the tracks, and this is very good. Sometimes you have a break, you don't want to play this break, so I put a tag, avoid the break, you know? So I do the transition before. So this is things I learned like with time and with this masterclass from him. And yeah, I needed to really reorganize properly my playlist and to tag everything, because some people, they just have one folder with millions of different styles and it works for them. But I'm really like, I need to be organized.
A structure that gives
yeah, because sometimes you don't know the track, so you need to have an indication. You need to know which style it is, or if it's peak time, if there is some vocals, if there is some weird element, or so it needed, like, it required me a lot of organization for this set.
You tag them in record box, just simple tag in the the comment.
Or some notes, or sometimes I can put also avoid the break because I don't like the break, so I need to do the transition before. I put also a lot of cue points so I can jump, because sometimes I don't like some part, so I put a red cue point and I know this, I don't like it, so I need to jump. So I used to do this now, and it really helps me. I think it really helps me to have a organized set and to avoid parts I don't like or I don't want to play, because some tracks are very good, but I don't like some vocals and I want to avoid. So it's it was a really good masterclass, and it helped me a lot to reorganize myself and my way of preparing the set, let's say.
Especially for a long set, because then the last thing you want is to start thinking, oh shit, what is this track? And you get confused. You just want to go with the flow.
Exactly, and sometimes you can have, because it's a lot of work to tag every tracks. And at some point I stopped to do it, and now I start again. But it's good also sometimes to not doing it, to not overdo it, because it's good to surprise yourself also. I don't want to control all the feeling, you know. And I think the magic happens also when there is a spontaneous thing in the track that you don't know, and you surprise people, but you surprise also yourself. Yeah. And this is good. So it's good to do it, but not to organizing everything like at the millimeters.
Yeah. I also like to keep it fun for you. And
Yeah, for sure. It's good to go on which direction you are going, but also to give space for some fun.
Yes.
Some surprise, because I really like surprise now, and to surprise myself, because at the very beginning I used to organize everything, like all the playlist and structure this and that, but now it's good to let it go also. Yeah.
Do you enjoy back-to-backs?
It depends with who.
True.
It depends with who. I mean, recently I started to notice there is a big hype with B2B. Like you book a person with another person, they don't have the same style, but it will bring maybe more people on the dance floor. It's gonna sell more tickets. So there is a very big hype with B2B now. I like B2B, but I like when there is a connection between the person. I like to know the person with who I play. We need to have like common music or common vision, you know, because otherwise it can be messy. It can be also surprisingly good, but I like to know the person when I'm with who I do B2B. I like to know her vision or his vision. I prefer to do it with people I know. Yeah. Like with my girlfriend Paola Koski, it's really fluid because we know each other. We have kind of the same tracks, and we have a good connection also in life, obviously. And it's better. It's better when you're in a couple with someone to have a good connection, And so it works good in the booth, you know, because we have fun, but sometimes you don't know the person, and you just put the track and you don't touch the knobs too much because you don't want to do bad things, and you know, so I like to do it with someone I know. Yeah, or at least to meet the person I know before. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm talking with people, they do B2B and they meet in the booth. Okay, but it's about synergia, you know, connection, and this is important to know where you are going, in which direction. So it's good at least to go and to have a coffee before. Yeah. And to talk, you know, about which mood you want to do, who are you, what do you like in life, like random question. I like it, but it depends. Yeah. Let's say.
It depends. It's definitely surprising.
Yeah, good or bad way. Yeah,
good bad way, yeah.
But in general, it's okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I never had I had bad surprise, but this is another topic.
Without telling the person, no? But what was the bad surprise? What happened that was fun or challenging?
It was challenging, but you know, when you do B2B, it's not necessary to all the time play millions of tracks at the same time. It's okay if you have only one channel up, because sometimes the track is enough itself, because we have strong tracks which can play alone, but we have also some tracks who need to be layered quickly, because otherwise it's a bit repetitive. But it's okay if we just play one track and another. It's because sometimes I played B2B with people, like we touch everything, like the knobs, and you know, it's going fast, and 4 channels up. Sometimes it's not necessary because it's very messy. Yeah. So yes, this is it. I like to let the tracks play and to take time. One thing I noticed is in a B2B, it's good to listen the other, you know, what the other plays. It's not about what you want to play. It's very important, because okay, it's not okay, I will play this I have in mind. No, let's try to put a track which works with the one which is currently playing.
Yeah.
It's not it's otherwise it's very selfish. You are not coming with your track. Oh yeah, I want to play this track. No, maybe try to give a sense to the transition, or it's very important because sometimes the other person don't listen the track. Like you put track and the person is already like searching for another track, but please listen what I'm playing. Listen the track and try to find something related with this track.
To build up and
Don't think about only what you want to play and your favorite tracks at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it needs to have a sense, synergia, you know?
For sure. It's like having a conversation when two people have a conversation versus I just wait for my time to talk.
It's exactly
and I
this.
say whatever I want.
It's exactly this. Because sometimes you can't, you have a conversation and the person don't listen to you. They just want to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And wow, this is so annoying because it's a monologue, you know? It's a conversation only with one person. And as you said, it's a conversation between two persons in music. So it's important to listen to the others. Even if the transition happen at the second party of the tracks, it's not forced to mix millions of tracks, like 4 tracks at the same time, the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Let the tracks play.
Yeah, so interesting. Have you had any other fun or very challenging moments while performing?
Again, another good questions. This B2B things is a challenge for sure. It's more about more personal aspects, I can say, because recently I experienced some health issue, and it was very challenging for me but since 5 months I'm suffering from chronic headache. So basically I have headache every day.
Yeah, tough.
And this is very terrible. So this happened last year in November, one day before my opening set at Berghain. I started to have crazy headache, and I was, this is weird because I have headache since 8 hours and it don't leave. I take ibuprofen and it's not like better. And the next day I was playing at Berghain. So I was, if I still have this strong headache, I'm not sure if I can play, you know? And I waited until 10 p.m. I was doing an opening, so from midnight to 4:30. And at some point my girlfriend told me, yeah, but you need to take a decision right now because like now it's 2 hours before the set. And if you cancel, it's now. And I was, this is so crazy because I had also a lot of hot flush, you know, hot flush in my brain, in my body, and I was, I'm not sure if I can play. But I went to play, and it was very challenging because imagine you are playing in very loud environment. You have headache. The air is very wet, humid. You have many people. It's terrible to play with a headache, but I did it. I played this opening for 4 hours and a half, and it went okay because I took a lot of medicine. But the worst thing is after this opening, it started again. I had headache every day, and I saw many doctors, and I went also to the hospital for 1 full week in the neurologic department. Yeah. They did many exams like MRIs, scanners. They didn't see anything. They even do like puncture in the back, millions of blood tests. They said, you have nothing, you don't have like tumors, it's chronic headache. So basically only a small amount of people have this, small percentage. And they said, it can leave, but it can stay. So now we are in April, and I still have headache every day, but it's less strong than before.
Yeah.
But when it happened last year, I was extremely stressed because you can't really play with headache, and I knew I will have a closing set at Berghain in February, and it's like 7 hours and a half or 8 hours, and I was thinking, I'm not sure if I can do it, but it's also in 3 months, so in 3 months it's gonna be better. But okay, time passed, I see many doctors, still many exams. I changed my treatments 2 times or 3 times, and it's still here, but less strong. And when I play the closing and I arrive at the club, and I was, now I'm gonna play for 7 hours and a half. And when I went into the booth, DVS1 was playing, and I felt okay. I didn't have a headache at this moment, but the vibration were so big, like I was like, it took all of my body, and I was, I started to have like cold sweat. So I needed to find a person from the staff because I couldn't stay there, and I didn't want to go in the dance floor because it was packed
Yeah.
It was really packed, you know, and I didn't want to meet people, I didn't want to talk. I started to have a headache, so I asked for a person from the staff 20 minutes before I start to bring me to another room. So they bring me to another room, and I try to relax. It was far from the music.
Were
and
you
I was,
alone? Did you have friends around you?
I had my girlfriend,
Okay,
and my
she was there.
booker was there, so Laura. So we were all together. So I went to this other room, I drank water, I relaxed, far from the vibration. But I was, I started in 20 minutes, but I felt it arrived, you know, and I was, wow, I will start to play with the headache. And that's what happened. So I started to play with the headache, and it was complicated because I had cold sweat. I put the fan, but it was warm and it was packed, and it was 8 hours of 7 hours and a half of playing, and it was really hard. It was really hard, honestly. Like everyone saw me dancing, and I was, I need to forget this. I need to focus on the music. I need to focus on the moment. It's a chance. It's an opportunity. I played after DVS1. It's my favorite artist. What can happen better? And I tried to reassure myself. I said, this is just headache.
Yeah.
Nothing can happen because you did all of the exams. Because at some point I was extremely scared to die also of this.
Right.
Because, you know, it can be something deeper. Even if it's not tumors or something else, it can be something else. And in the booth, I tried to reassure myself. I also put some mint, like the peppermint, on my temples, you know.
To freshen up.
Because it helps also. So sometimes I was like, you know, be like down or behind the booth just to...
Yeah.
And I took also some essential oil, like the peppermint, like this, because it helps also. I took medicine, obviously. And at some point, it was gone. So I had some hours where I played without.
Wow.
And at 6, it came back. And it was extremely strong. And I was, I don't know how I will survive because it's 2 hours more and it's very strong. But I did it. And I mean, I succeeded to finish the set.
Yeah.
And everyone saw me dancing like crazy, of course, because I enjoyed, and I tried to just put this headache aside. But this was very challenging part of my life, of my career. On my life, but also on my personal, on my career, because I needed also to cancel gigs last year because I couldn't travel with the headache. I needed to go to Colombia. I couldn't go because I couldn't take flight. I couldn't take trains, you know. You have a headache from morning to evening, even when you are going to toilet during the night. So I was, what's wrong?
Yeah.
So now it's getting better. So it's cool, but I needed to cancel many gigs. It's never cool.
Yeah.
Also, it's my main activity. So you lose money, promoters lose money because the gig didn't happen. Yeah. And it was hard.
Yeah, it must be super hard.
Yeah, hopefully now it's better. So this is cool. And hopefully it's gonna disappear forever. But it was very 4 months the most difficult in my life.
Wow,
because,
I'm sorry.
Thank you. But I still need to do some exams and to check regularly the blood because we never know, you know, something can pop up or...
That's also probably the stressful part, which is you don't exactly know what is the path from now, and you don't know what's causing that.
Yeah.
So now you need to do tests and...
For sure, because it happened actually. I was playing at home the day before the opening last November, and my vision started to be blurred. So I was, this is weird. Is it my deck? So I take my phone and I see all the color are going everywhere, you know, like a trip. I was, whoa. And I saw Minecraft, you know, the game. I started to see
pixels.
Or, the pixels. Everything was mixed, the colors, a rainbow. I was, whoa, what the fuck is going on? So I checked outside, and also the lights were weird. I called my girlfriend. She was in Finland, and she said, Ju, I can't do anything for you. Just call an ambulance. I called the ambulance, and they came, and when they were on the way, it's someone hit me behind my head. And I was, I need to lay. And from this moment, I had the headache. And it never left. It never leaves me. So it started these days. And the ambulance came and they said, oh no, it's an aura migraine. I was, okay, it's an aura migraine. But 5 months after, I still have this headache. So maybe it started with aura migraine, and after it started disappear, and now it's just tension headache, like they call this. But I think it was also related with maybe traveling, my lifestyle probably. doing all the time millions of things at the same time. Traveling, the lack of sleep, like deprivation sleep. This, I have a big problems with insomnia since years, and of course it didn't help. And I learned how to take time also for myself and to listen the signs of my body, which is good because now I'm more focusing on my well-being and about what my body sends. Because if I had this, it's because my body sent me some signs. Oh, there is something which is wrong, you know? And I think it's really important to take these signs to act and to change things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, imagine like there's no life without health. Like if you're not in good conditions, whatever experience you have of life is gonna look and feel shit.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. So it's very important that you realize this now and then you figure out how to prioritize it.
For sure. And you know, also like when you have a headache, it's complicated to stay long time behind the laptop. It's complicated to dig music with headphone and but I really learned to do breaks also, to do breaks with many different things, to do breaks with work, to do breaks with alcohol, with my lifestyle, just to take care more of myself. And I also follow this program with a coach for 3 months because last year I was really, really bad. And I follow a program with a coach for artists, and it helps me to really have new habits. So I learned. I mean, it teach me how to do relaxation. It teach me how to do meditation. It teach me like some more natural way of healing yourself, like with essential oils or with yoga, with breathing exercise, this kind of thing. And at this period of my life, I really, really needed it. And before I was against, oh no, meditation, yoga, I don't care, it's not for me. But I learned how to do it, and it really, really changed my own person, my own person.
For the better, and probably like the good positive side is that if you continue doing this forever, let's say, it's much more sustainable than not doing it. Like whatever, if you decide to continue doing music and performing as a DJ for the next 30, 40 years, this way you are probably more prepared for that journey.
For sure.
Than if you were just continuing until it's really too late.
Yeah. And to be honest, the first years of traveling, of course, I used to I party. I like to party like everyone. You know, you are DJ. More you have gigs, more you know person in every different cities, and of course it was gin tonic here, gin tonic there. Sometimes gin tonic on Friday, wine at the dinner, and this is so cool. But you play, you go to sleep, you don't sleep because you drank alcohol, and it play a game on your, on your body. Sure. So I couldn't sleep good. I arrived at the airport, I was dead, and I had another gig, and sometimes I was not really motivated by the other gigs on Saturday because I was too dead from the one before. But why I was too dead? Because I used to drink alcohol and I used to party also after my set. So, and I was, whoa, this is not cool because I'm not motivated for the second gig. And it's good to be motivated because someone wants book you for who you are, for the music you play. And I mean, not for only your USB, but for the person you are. And sometimes I was not at 100% because I partied the day before. So this I started to reduce until last November, where I stopped like
completely.
Completely to party after and before my set. And this is better because I'm fresh at the airport. I'm fresh on Monday. It's game changing.
It's a super big mindset shift that probably will allow you to be much more sustainable throughout.
Completely, and it's like I understood also the sleep habits and the sleep rhythm is really important. So now I learned how to stop laptops 1 or 2 hours before to sleep, going for a walk, and be more aware of my emotions about the body, my body, the signs of my body send me. Just relaxing, breathing before to sleep, because you need to have also quality sleep, you know? If you don't sleep long, because you have many gigs during the week or during the weekend, if you sleep a short amount of time, it needs to be qualitative. So for this, you need to make space before stop like scrolling, stop drinking alcohol, caffeine at some point.
Blue lights also like very...
Yeah, and I'm very sensitive, so I need to put a lot of actions before I'm going to bed. Yeah, because sometimes you finish a gig, you are going to the hotel, but the adrenaline is still so high.
Yeah, for sure.
So I need to relax. I need to go to take shower. I need to breathe slowly, like to do some yoga before to go to bed. Even if I have only 4 hours of sleeping, I need to prepare myself.
Yeah. And you mentioned before also like having some people call it balance, for example, but with relationships, if you're traveling so much and performing every week, how do you take care of relationships that are important for you? Your girlfriend, family, you mentioned your parents before, your friends.
Oh yeah, first of all, I'm from France, as you can guess. And what I really like now is I forced myself. I mean, it's not really forced, it's also because I want. But I'm trying to go back to France like every 2 months to spend time with my family because it's really important for me. Before I was, I don't want to go back to France because I miss a weekend. If I'm going to France for a weekend, it's like I lose one weekend. I lose one weekend to play, or I lose one weekend to party in Berlin. That's what I resonating.
Yeah.
Now I changed completely. First of all, my family and my parents are getting old, and I feel I really want to spend time with them, like qualitative time. So it's okay if I miss one gig. It's okay if I'm not in Berlin. If I miss a good lineup at Berghain, like Berghain won't disappear. It's gonna be there the next week and the next month and the next year. So it's okay if I miss one party, and it's okay if I miss one gigs because, I'm trying to go in France every 2 months to see my family. And during the week, I'm trying to also have 1 or 2 meetings with friends and to put the music aside. And now what I try to learn, I try to do is to have Monday off. And this I learned it from Amotik because he said, for him, every Monday is off. And me, I was sometimes playing Saturday, Sunday I was going back in Berlin, going to Berghain, coming during the night. But on Monday, I forced me to wake up early, to go to the gym, and after to dig music and to do this. And it's not productive at all because...
You don't have the recovery day,
Yeah, and I thought, if I don't do it, I'm feeling guilty. But I need to do things because I need to feel useful, you know?
Yeah.
But I talked with Amotik about this, and he said he always takes Monday off. No music, nothing. No digging, no listening music, just doing something else. And now I started to do this also.
Yeah.
So going to the gym, spending time with my girlfriends, cooking, inviting friends. And I start my weeks on Tuesday. And this is also good because before I always felt, I'm guilty, I didn't do anything. It's also when you are only freelance, you know, like you feel you always need to work day and night, but it's not true. You need just to make space for other things. And I learned this with time and with talking with him and with talking with other people because before I was working Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, going back at Berghain, like coming back at 4 a.m. on Monday and being already at the gym at 9, and it's not good for the heart, it's not good for the mind, it's not good for nothing.
Yeah, so, for sure. Also, I mean, if you think about it, most people in this world, even people who work Monday to Friday, they will have like usually Saturday and Sunday off, right?
Yeah.
And Sunday is the day where most people most places, the Western world, they take off Sunday. These other places, it's like Saturday or Friday, but still, like you have 1 day a week where it's important to rest. For sure.
And also what I learned from Amotik is, it was very good advice because now I'm trying to do it. Not always, but I'm trying to do it. Is I think he never take his laptop or he don't prepare his music the D-Day. And what I used to do it a lot. It's like, okay, I have a gig, I prepare everything the D-Day. Because I want to use this time in transport. If I have 5 hours of train, okay, take the laptop and preparing the music. And I don't think it's really good, at least for me, also because unfortunately I have the chronic headache. So if I prepare the set the day where I play, plus the transport, plus the social aspect, the artist dinner and this and that, it's a lot for my brain, and my brain can't process this anymore. So what I learned from Amotik, he said, no, he's just going with his USB, and that's all. Everything is prepared before in advance, and I think it's really good because you have time to prepare the week before the gig, and in the train you can do something else. You can just read a book, you don't lose time like reading a book.
Yeah,
It like
interesting.
you can just like think about something else than music, because if I put too much information in my brain and if I do too much things, I have a headache.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
now I'm trying to give space for other things. And
Yeah,
so,
especially when you need to perform, right? Because performance takes a lot of energy. You want to be as present, as energized as possible. If you consume yourself before you get there.
And I think you are even more productive to prepare a gig the week before, because otherwise you rush a bit if you are in the train, you know. Sometimes I take my laptop, okay, I have 5 hours of transport, so I have a lot of hours to prepare the gig, like, you know. And at the end I took random tracks and not especially happy with it at the end of the set, and now I try to do it like before, and I'm more happy because I have the full week kind of to prepare the set and to think about the mood and to listen properly the tracks, because I was doing it maybe sometimes too fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's better now. It's more qualitative, let's say.
Yeah. And you also are a resident of Calt in Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Is that a monthly residency, or
So
it happens every month, or every 2 months, something like that?
I think I'm going there like 5 or 6 times per year.
Okay.
Which is very good, because it's always long slots, like it's like 3 hours minimum. So it's very good, because now when we are booked, it's 1 hour and a half or 2 hours in like clubs, and they always gave me long slots. 3 hours, it's perfect range for me. This is the best for me, actually. It's my favorite. So I play opening, I play closing. I never play in the middle because it's for the guests. But it's a really, really nice club. It's really popular in France, and it has this Berlin vibe, because it's non picture and non video, so they put the stickers at the entrance, and it's really minimalistic style. They have 2 rooms, the main room, which is techno, and the mezzanine upstairs, which is more house and Italo disco style, slower BPM, more like organic and like smiling vibe, you know, like warm vibes, let's say. And sometimes I can play at the mezzanine also, but I play still techno, but more joyful techno, you know. No, not mental or bleepy. This doesn't work. I think it's not really appropriate. But more like solar music, let's say. And it's a great club. It's in an old pasta factory. So this is very like, whoa, this is very funny, actually. And the space is big. I think it's like 800 capacity. The sound system is like function 1, fully equipped. It's very good. Recently they started to add some strong sub in the booth, so you really feel in a cockpit of like a flight, like wow, fully immersion, fully immerse. And like you always have this regular people who comes front row. It's all the time the same. This group of young people who are just like vibing all the time with the DJ. They never move from the dance floor. They move like for a very short amount of time. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity, because I learned a lot, and I always play with like strong artists, you know, like when you are doing opening for Ben Clock or closing for Marcel Detman. It's really something important in a career, and you can meet them, you can have an artist dinner with them, and it's very, very like interesting conversation, and you learn from them. And I really like this club. It's so cool. Like people travel from all over France and also from abroad, because it's in Strasbourg, you know, so it's really near to the German borders. And it's really common that you hear people like talking in the outside area German or English, or people travel, and it's rare to have this kind of crowd in France.
Really?
Yeah, because in France, not everywhere, of course, but people, they are not very educated. They are very drunk and not very educated. And at Celt, they really come for the music, you know. You can play slow BPM, fast BPM. They are here with you. They are open-minded. And I think the community there is really vibrant. It's really intense, because people follow you also. They follow you on social networks. They listen your set. Like I met many people there, like, and like the community is bigger and bigger, and I met some nice people who are now very good friends and who are coming to Berlin often to see me, and they stay at my place. And yeah, I really love this residency. It's so cool.
It seems like it also helps you a lot evolve and express yourself and find freedom in the way you play music.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of Berlin because of the space, for sure. You have metallic doors in the bathroom. You have also a specific space for exhibition, for light exhibition, or for people who want to expose their art, like some visual or some like paint or drawing. And it reminds a lot of Berlin, like of course for the no picture and no video policy. And the sound system is good. The lights are minimalistic, very, very good. Like the bars are really large concrete block, you know. And this is so cool.
It sounds like a good experience. Also, having a residency really helps.
It really helps me to develop my sound and to give me like time to prepare opening set a lot, because I used to play a lot of opening there. So it's good to do this, you know, for your personal like knowledge and personal musical culture. And now they started also recently to give me some possibility to curate some nights.
Very cool.
So it didn't happen a lot for now, but I did it twice now. I mean, first time I invited Dasha Rush and it was really nice, and now I invite DJ Pete in 10th of May, and I really love DJ Pete. It's a legend. So it's really cool because they gave me this opportunity to invite some artists I like, and they also relaunched the label recently. They asked me to contribute to the various, and I gave one track, and I'm feeling really connected with the club, and
very cool.
This is super. I think they started also now to do, because it was open only Saturday techno, and upstairs the mezzanine like more house, but they start to do also some Friday only house music.
Okay.
So this is very cool. This complete offer for people who likes music. And Strasbourg is really like a European city now, because of Cult, but because also for the Christmas market. You know, they have a very famous Christmas market in Strasbourg, 1 month in December, and everyone is traveling to Strasbourg for this Christmas market, and
attracts a lot of people.
And it's very, very a nice city, beautiful architecture, old style, very good food. I'm not from this city, but I feel like home.
Very cool.
And the hosting is perfect also.
When did you start DJing? How many years ago?
I started 2017.
Okay, so it's been 8 years.
Roughly, exactly.
If you were to start again from scratch, what would be the 2 things you would really focus on?
Okay, so I think I would focus more on my own music, because I started like few years after DJing, but I think I would, like, if I needed to start again from scratch, I will start by investing myself more into my own music, because it's really important nowadays. Because everyone is a DJ, and also, honestly, many people play the same tracks, and it can be kind of also boring and easy, you know? But I think if you start with your own music, it really shows another aspect of what you really want. And now we have plenty of excellent masterclass. You can do very good one-to-one with some very good artists. And this is also because Corona, because before I'm not sure if we had this kind of amount of masterclasses.
No, for sure not.
And also now everyone wants to share. Everyone wants to give classes. Everyone wants to do masterclass. And this is very good. So I would start again by investing myself more into my own music. And because how I started is I was doing a lot of mixtape. Like I recorded a lot of podcasts, sometimes 2 podcasts per month. And it helped before because nobody knew me, and it was my way of, hello, I'm existing, I'm here, you know, and I want to do it. So I recorded a lot of podcasts. But now when I'm thinking about this, I was, whoa, it was a lot. 2 podcasts per month. At the end of the year, I had very big amount of podcasts, and now I don't do this anymore because I don't need to do this. But I would focus more on my own music and of course of online presence, but sharing real content, not sharing a picture when you are going in holidays near to the pool and I'm enjoying my holidays. For me, it's kind of bullshit content. Just post when you have something to post, when you have something to announce. Yeah, post a picture of yourself if you release a new tracks, post a picture of yourself if you just release a new podcast, but not oversharing, because also now we have a lot of people who overshare, and why not? I'm not judging, but
it doesn't work for you, for example, yeah?
No. I prefer to publish things when I have something to announce,
What's your relationship with social media right now?
Addictive relationship?
Yeah. It's one of the hardest things for everybody.
Wow, I lose so much time. I guess for everyone it's this, but I really love to scroll.
I think
this is terrible.
For being honest, it's true. It's fucking true. Like everybody.
It relaxed me, but some people it makes them stress because they compare themselves. I'm not at this point. I don't compare myself, but I'm curious about what happened, about life for people, about which people will release what, and I like to scroll. I like to be aware about what happened and about what people do and with music But I'm trying to publish only when I have something to publish. But I would like to put the time I put on social network and scrolling into transforming this time into time for producing, for example, or into times for improving my knowledge with mixing skills. So but I have a very strong connection with social networks. I mean, I don't have crazy ideas because now I can see some, especially young generation, sometimes they do videos and this and that, and I was, wow, I'm this oldest generation. I don't know how to do like reels, for example. Sometimes you see them, they play in their studio and they do like editing, and it's very well made. It's very good, but I'm not able to do this at all. I don't even know how to do it. I guess it's not complicated, but I'm this oldest generation, the generation before. And I think it's cool to do it if you use it for a certain like point, not oversharing.
Yeah.
For example, useful things.
Yeah. When you say useful things, let's say you have a release coming out. What would be the useful content? First of all, I so agree with you. I think it's not about content; it's about creating something interesting. Of course, announcements, but also ideally creating art that you want to share with people. So what I struggle with, for example, is that I have a release. The first one is the announcement. Of course, you do it, and then you do a couple of Instagram stories.
For sure.
But then at some point, you also want to share it. But then it feels sometimes like, okay, should I reshare the same track? How do you manage that? If you have a podcast announcement or a gig is pretty easy, but let's say a podcast announcement or a release, do you share multiple times different things?
Yeah, it can be like this, but also one good thing with Instagram is you can collaborate with the channel, for example. So half of the work is done because, for example, I did a podcast for 8, and they posted and we did a collab. So cool. I just had to accept it, and it was online. So it's less work, and we are going like straight to the point. It was basically some screen video of the podcast, and for me this is enough. No need to overshare millions of things. So they did this, and I accepted the collab post. And of course, I did some stories also, but I'm trying to not overpost too much because otherwise it's too much. Sometimes I can do, I share my podcast, and 1 month after, I share it again, but on stories only, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have a good weekend, or in case you missed it, or this kind of thing, but not oversharing because it's too much. And sometimes you can be quickly annoyed by millions of stories. And one thing I learned also recently, I used to repost everything, every stories of people when I'm playing here and there, but sometimes you play and you have millions of stories and sometimes even bad quality. And I reposted everything because it's cool, you have a memory of the night, and you make people happy because it's nice also to thank people who give you attention and who support you. This is very important for me. So I reshare this and that, and the next day I check, and you can't even listen to music. It's just like this kind of horrible vibration who just kill your ears, and I was, oh no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I, like in Colombia also, they do millions of stories, and this is nice, but sometimes it's not necessary to repost everything, just like, and the person will be also happy.
Yeah.
If you reshare it, it's good, but if you like, it's also fine. So I learned with time to select what I want to spread, because otherwise it's too many stories and it can be annoying for the person who watched this. It happened also to me. It was just too much story of some artists, and now I put in Sourdine because it's just too much. It come all the time at the top, and so I put some people in Sourdine. Sorry, but it's just too much, So I learned how to control more.
Yeah.
To control more what I post and to control more what I repost, because sometimes you have a lot of stories and sometimes it's bad quality. Just let's focus on good content, good quality, and good audio quality also.
Yeah, important also because it's a medium and people, in the end, you want to put something that is meaningful and
for sure
people can listen to.
It's not necessary to repost a story with just when you see nothing, when you hear nothing, when you hear people talk.
With a sticker on the phone. I mean,
this is like totally useless.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay.
And I wanted to ask you something else about non-male and non-hetero models, role models in the music world.
Yeah.
Did you have good examples of people who have essentially faced challenges and how did they deal with that? Or in your case, for example, did you face challenges? Did you feel like discriminated or you didn't get enough opportunities sometimes?
Sometimes you feel you always need to prove, because it happened to me like recently. Sometimes you are at an artist dinner and you are the only girl and on the lineup, or you are the only girl at the table and it's like eight guys, and everyone is talking about their own release, their own podcast, and like, I did this, I did that, I play here, I play there. Sometimes also in the backstage area. So this kind of bro community, we are bro, and sometimes people just don't calculate me, and I think I felt underestimated also sometimes because I'm here, I am also on the lineup, I produce also, like I also record podcasts, and nobody asks you questions. People are just talking about themselves, what they do, what they achieve, and you did this, your release was so good. But I feel when you are a woman, you are they perceive you as it's not important. Alors, sorry, it's French. Alors, not everyone, of course, not everyone, and in general, no. But it can happen for this kind of situation where people don't calculate you, or you need to prove that you are able also to release music. You also need to prove that you can use a reverb pedal, or you can also prepare a live set. And in general, like when guys are between themselves, they don't really calculate the girl.
Interesting.
And it happened to me a few times. And I remember at the beginning of my career, a guy booked me in Prague, and the booking didn't work for some reason. And I was, but maybe can we just plan the booking again, because I really want to come to Prague. It was at the very beginning of my career. It was like 7 years ago. And the guy said me, let's see, I actually wanted to book you because you look cool, but to be honest, I never listen to your podcast.
No.
So I was, what the fuck is this? Why you booked me? Do you book me because are you attracted to me, or because I look cool, or maybe because you want to be my friend? But how can you book someone if you didn't listen what the person is proposing?
Yeah. Would you?
This is the base.
Yeah. Like knowing that. Would you play for that party?
This is crazy, I think. Yeah. And this person was weird. This person actually completely disappeared from the circulation. And I heard also crazy stories, so I'm not sure if this person was a good person. Or I don't know. I don't judge, but I don't know. And also other things happen, like you play after a DJ, and the first DJ is playing vinyl, vinyl. And you put your USB, and the guy watched me, and he said, a real DJ play vinyl. Okay. I didn't say anything. Yeah, okay, I play digital. Okay, cool. I can play also some records at home. It's fine also. But why to say this? Would you say this to a man? If I was a man, would you say a real DJ play vinyl? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this artist would have said this to a guy, if I would be a guy. And I think it's completely unrespectful.
Yeah,
and it was not necessary. It's a non-necessary sentence.
Yeah, that's what you were saying before, that you had to prove yourself. Like
completely.
The default, it's almost like the default perception is that your value is lower than an equivalent male DJ.
Yeah. I mean, it was completely unnecessary. Oh yeah, a real DJ play vinyl, and that day it was very cool because I took 3 vinyls on a tote bag. So I was, actually I took some vinyl and I put this on the side. But okay, a real DJ play vinyl, maybe for you. We are in 2025, so
that's
time
weird.
Change. And
sorry
of
to
course,
hear this should not happen.
Thank you. But I mean, it affected me at the beginning, but now I started to. It's like this, but it's less and less. Honestly, it's less and less. So this is good. Also, recently, for the International Women's Day, for example, they organized this night at Radion in Amsterdam with only women artists and only women and flint artists. And I think it's really good to do this because it can show the empowerment of flint artists, and this is very nice, and it can open doors also to some people who are shy to try music or to produce, and it's good to have this kind of event, but let's just maybe not wait until International Women's Day. Yeah. I don't say let's do it every week because we have excellent men artists, but we have also excellent women artists. We can of course mix, but let's not wait until International Women's Day to do only women lineup. We can do it time to time during the year. Yeah. So but it was a really, really good event, and I really like to play for this event. You felt this kind of women solidarity that I don't feel sometimes in backstage because guys are talking between each other, so I'm feeling excluded sometimes. But for this event, everyone is at the same level, and everyone, you can feel a strong solidarity between women. Of course, I don't say every woman is friends with every woman, but there is still this solidarity aspect. This is cool. Yeah, this is cool.
Have you seen good examples of people in the industry who are male who have been in a way supportive and who have actually been good examples? Because we talk a lot about unfortunate shit examples like this one that you just mentioned. Have you seen people or organizations broadly led by men who have been a good example and supportive?
Yeah. I mean, I know many promoters who booked women also, but because it's important to book women, but it's also important to book women because they are good. Because also now, I know crazy stories we need a woman on the lineup.
It's a token, right? We say tokenization of the women. You need a woman just because you want to show that you have women in the lineup.
And okay, book a woman, but book a woman also because she is good, not because you need to fill some gap in your lineup, And now, I think the mentality evolved, and some promoters really booked women because, of course, they like their music and they like their personality, and I think times evolved a lot. But I'm thinking about also other things I want to say. I had a request. Do you want to release on my label? I need women. Well, okay, so you need women, but do you like my music? Is my music fit with your label? Is my music fit with the values you want to spread? Because it's easy to let's invite women, but still some men and still some promoters needs to change their mind, but we are going on this direction, and some promoters really invite women because they like their art and they like what they are doing, and this is good, but it's getting better and better. So this is cool.
Yeah. It is a positive sign.
Sure. Also some artists really men and women support each other with reposting, and this is very cool.
Yeah, very cool. And thank you again for sharing. I know it's not always easy to share these things because it's painful to be in these situations and continue to live that throughout your career is not a great thing.
But I mean, it's important to share also because some people are not aware about this. Some people think you are DJ, life is beautiful, you just meet people, you just party, but there is also some bad side of this industry, you know. Not everything is beautiful, not everything is a rainbow and life is beautiful and we are all friends. This is not true. So it's important also to talk about this kind of experience to let people know it can still happen in 2025.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But less and less, let's say.
Yeah, good to know. And to hear, I mean, we also live in a very lucky bubble. Like Berlin is a...
Yeah, in Berlin is very, very good.
Yeah.
For the networking and for this actually.
The awareness of people and generally like there's other people that who are open-minded and it feels like it's a bit it's evolved and for in many cases like it's in the future compared to many other places.
Yeah. And I think really Berlin is like in Germany you have Berlin and the other city.
Yeah.
Like because it's I mean when I'm going to play in some other cities it's so different.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel it can be close-minded also. Mm-hmm. In Berlin, everyone is kind of speaking German, German also, but English in the backstage. You are included, you know? And
yes.
Sometimes in small cities in Germany, if you don't speak German, you are not included. And maybe it's where I fail because I'm in Berlin since many years and I don't speak German like many other people, but I could have learned and I try to learn and I gave up because I wanted to put my energy and my money on learning music. Mm-hmm. But I could have learned more, I could have make more effort. And of course, it's normal you are in a country, you should at least speak a bit of language. But when I'm playing outside of Berlin, and sometimes it's difficult to have people who speak to you English. In the backstage, they talk to you in English like 5 minutes and after they switch. In France, it's the same. They try to talk to you in English 5 minutes, and after everyone is speaking French. But here in Berlin, this is very different because it's so cosmopolitan. Then in backstage or in clubs, everyone is speaking English. Everyone is able to have a conversation in English. So you feel included and not excluded. This is very good. This is very good. Yeah.
Also compared to our countries, France, Italy.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Like if you don't speak French or Italian, you're fucked.
Yeah, and to be honest, I will explain a short story, but my girlfriend, Paula, she was booked for a parties in France.
Is she French? No.
She's from Finland.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she was booked there, and like promoters talked to her in English. And I joined them suddenly. So I joined them in the club and in the backstage area, I mean. And when I arrived, like they switched completely in French to talk to me, and they just leave her at the side. They didn't calculate her anymore. And I think this is not cool because this should not happen. Okay, maybe at some point if you're a bit drunk, you don't want to talk English and I can understand. But this will never happen in Berlin, or I never seen this kind of thing. Everyone is considering you, everyone is speaking English to you, and every German people speak English. And this is very cool because in France, like I felt sorry for her because at some point, everyone was talking to me, and she was alone, and she was also what do you want to do? You don't speak any words of French or a few words. You take your phone, and this is sad. It's you exclude the person.
For sure.
You exclude the person you booked. This is not cool. So I felt sorry for her, and I apologize because it happened actually many times. Also, when I played with some other artists, like international artists, international guests, at some point, the conversation switched in French. And the artist which is there is not able to understand anything. Yeah. So you exclude people, and this is not cool. So
I fucking hate it because it's the same in Italy. It's exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Like unless and I hate it so much. Like you bring friends to your country to visit, and then there's a group, and then clearly they're not speaking the language, and everybody doesn't give a shit.
And many people know how to speak English, but they are not. Maybe they are shy, or maybe they don't want to do the effort. Sometimes it's this because I mean, they were talking in English to Paola before, and when I came, like immediately they switched in French. And I mean, it's okay, I talk French, but you can talk to me in English also. I can understand. We can have an interaction all together because it's the purpose. It's to have an interaction together. Yeah. It's not to like close the cycle and just to speak together. She was completely excluded. This is
very
not
bad.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would work in your case, but like I normally, when that happens with Italian friends, I continue to answer in English.
Completely same.
Right.
Yeah, I do this also.
And then people are like, fuck, okay, maybe I should.
Yeah. And they speak in French, and I replied in English. Yeah. And one day someone dared to tell me, but why you speak in English? We're in France.
Yeah.
And I was, but she don't speak French.
Yeah.
Like last time I played somewhere in France, and I was talking with someone from Germany in the booth because the person was from Germany. So we talked in English, and another person in the booth was, but why you talk English? We are in France. And I was, but maybe this person don't speak French, you know. And I think I don't understand how of course, why I speak English is because the person don't speak French. Yeah. Just think 1 minute, like.
It's funny.
So I mean, but this is very common in France, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Here it's less common in Berlin, but also outside of Berlin, everyone is talking German.
German more.
And
for sure.
that's how, like, it's me who feel excluded at this point. But this is another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to the, I wanted to ask you some final questions before we wrap up. And feel free to answer whatever comes to mind first. And don't overthink the answer. You can answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, sure. I will ask you some questions.
Okay.
But you can answer whatever comes to your mind, the first thing, without thinking so much.
That's going to be very
But they're easy questions.
Okay.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I'm doing one coffee immediately, even before to go to the bathroom.
Espresso or French press? Or different?
Mug, a full... It's already a lot, you know, like a full mug.
Yeah.
So I drink one, and immediately after, a second one. And I have this Italian...
Mocha?
But like this format.
No, wait, this 60...
What is the name? I don't know the name, I'm sorry, but this Italian thing. And so I do 2 big cups of coffee.
Crazy.
It's the first thing I do. Okay, one... toilets, and after I finish, and second one. My day can't start without 2 coffee.
Wow.
I drink a lot of coffee. This is maybe not so good.
Yeah, I think it's very French or Italian.
And I really like strong coffee and with a bit of sugar, but strong coffee. Yeah. This is good. Yeah.
Very nice. What is a trait of your personality that is a cursing and a blessing? A curse or a blessing?
Some
some part of your character that is a curse, that is like a bad thing, and is also a blessing.
Okay, I think I'm very resilient, and when I have a specific idea in mind, I don't give up. Like, I will do everything to make it happen.
Yeah.
So this is like, I think, a strong, like, personality.
Yeah.
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 And what was the other question?
And the other, also like something that is a negative thing. Can be the same or something else?
I can be very negative.
Very
in a loop.
Yeah.
In a loop. Music is bad. I don't like to be here. No, this is bad. Like very negative loops. I mean, that's what my girlfriend say. Only her. My friends don't say this, but they don't know me as my girlfriend knows me. But she said sometimes, you are a bit too negative, and it can be sometimes to be a bit more positive about things. It's okay, life is beautiful, we are healthy, so so a bit negative.
You need her to tell you, go back to the positive.
Completely.
Yeah. Can you sing aloud one of your latest tracks?
That's all I can say.
Okay, don't tell us which track, we need to find out.
No, true. Good luck with this. Really.
If you have to choose one closing track for the rest of your life for your DJ sets.
Downtown 161 for Function.
Yeah, Function.
This is perfect. Because also it's 11 minutes, and at the end you have a long like ambient part for like maybe 4 minutes. So it's really like atmospheric and calm down the situation. It's a bit housey, as I said. with some vocals, beautiful. It's the perfect ending tracks for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And do you have any guilty pleasure tracks?
Oh yeah, I have. I actually play this track at Berghain. It's Children by Robert Miles.
Ah, yeah, of course.
This is one of my favorite tracks ever. Why? Because when I was young and when my mother bring me to school by car, we used to listen this kind of old tracks like on anthem, like trancey, techno, because my mother really liked also electronic music. So we listened a lot of electronic music in the cars. And this tracks is really emotional at some point, really dreamy. And I always promise to myself, at some point I will play this track, but I will play once in my life, and that's all. Because you can't play it everywhere, you can't play it anytime. So when I got the closing set at Berghain, I will play there. And some people really liked it, because it reminds them past, their past, when they were a teenager, when they were a kid, the first years of listening electronic music, and it's also dreamy, so you need to choose the good moment to put it. Yeah. It was the last 30 minutes, and some people were really like in trance state, like, amazing. Oh wow, so good. I know not everyone liked it, because I read some things on Reddit, and I can totally understand, but some people really liked it also. You can't please to everyone, and this is what I like with music, which is very good, but it was my guilty pleasure because it was really a part of my musical culture when I was young. It reminds me my mother when we listen this music in the cars, and it's really dreamy, like this melody, like it's a melody, it's a memory wrapped in melody. Yeah. So
I think it's 1995 or 1997.
Something like this, like very, but like this kind of chords, like you listen once and you don't forget it, you know. And I know some people said, it was cheesy and ridiculous, but for me it was just beautiful, because also if you don't take risk, if you don't fulfill your own soul, what we do this, you know? It's important to have guilty pleasure, and of course some people will like it, some people won't like it, but it was one of the highlights of my set, and I won't play it anymore. It's one lifetime track. I did it. I put another kick because the kick was unfortunately extremely weak, because it's an old track. So I put like a nice kick, and the kick was roaring all the time, and the melody of Robert Miles, and it was a beautiful moment. Beautiful. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, it was super nice. Cool.
Would you rather play in front of 10,000 people, strangers you don't know them, or 15 close friends in a house party? Shitty sound system, only home speakers.
Wow. Probably the parties with 15 friends and shitty sound system, because it's a lot about intimacy and connection and friendly vibes. This I really like, but I like also sometimes big stages. Like I played 2 years ago at Fusion on the Tumbune, so one of the main stage, and it was very packed. It was beautiful because also of the installation with fire, and the artist care was also super. It was, I think, one of my biggest stage. So it's cool to do it time to times, but definitely I prefer small venue and small parties and like people close to me.
Very cool. If you are stuck on a deserted island for a week, who would you take with you? Any artist, musician or not, dead or alive?
Okay, I will take my girlfriend, Paula Koski, because we share the same vision, and like we are together now since many years, and it's really my partner in crime, my best friend, my partner, of course, and we can talk a lot of music. Like I remember we did some after party, just her and me, curtains on, and just talking about music, listening millions of sets, and I can talk about everything about her music, but not only. I can be how I am, negative or not negative, positive or not positive, and we'll definitely take her for the rest of my life on an island, paradisiac island.
A nice island, we call it an answer.
A nice island, nice for sure,
Very cool. What's one project you are excited about that is coming up for you?
I'm working now on a new EP, which will be my second EP.
Dynamic Reflection, if you can say the label.
Dynamic Reflections was the first one, and I don't know if I want to tell it, because if they don't accept the tracks, I will be very disappointed.
Don't.
But you will probably know it soon. So, like, we planned this EP 6 months ago, last year. So now I'm in the last process, the mix down of the tracks. I will send them some tracks, and normally, like, it's planned, the EP is planned. But if they don't like the tracks, of course, they won't take it. But I'm very excited about this, because it's going to be also a vinyl release. So 4 original tracks, and it's for a very nice label. They organize also very nice parties and festivals. So let's see if it's happening. But I put my energy and, like, my time on it, especially during the last months. And it was not easy with the headache situation.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm not able to do it. But finger crossed, they will accept the tracks. Thank you. So yeah, this is a really, very nice project. I'm happy, and I'm happy to share soon with you also.
Cool. Good luck. And final tradition of Almost Sound, final question. What's one question we should ask the next guest?
Okay, so, like, it come like this in my mind, like, randomly. Why did you start playing music? Because I think everyone has a different, like, answer. It can be because you got inspiration by an artist. It can be because you was always passionate about music. It can be different reasons, and I'm very curious about why people started. This is good. Why did you start, and why did you start?
Very cool. Me?
Yeah. And how?
How?
Was it because
you
saw...
Sound music? Music.
Yeah, music, yeah.
There is a rational explanation or an emotional explanation. Emotional explanation is because I think for me it's always been a proxy for love, but like a safer version of love.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's something that I felt like I was missing, and then I went when I was 9. I remember going to this club, and I see the DJ. I'm like, what the fuck? This person's like creating this vibe, and I saw everybody happy and dancing. I felt like, wow, I want to do this. You know?
Yeah.
It was such
cool.
It was such a crazy thing, and then, like, I always loved dancing, going to clubs, and then at some point I thought, okay, I want to make my music. Yeah.
It came after, I guess.
It came, and I think I realized that, like, the emotional reason was really like it really felt like love, like I'm connecting with people. And especially I love the part that I was providing the safe space for people to feel the love as well, while I was feeling it as well. Okay. So I felt like, and it was safer than love for, in that case, like, I was traumatized by my family situation. So it was safer to do it with strangers than going deeper with one person. Okay. I solved a lot of the childhood trauma with years in therapy and everything. Okay. But the love part stayed. And I just enjoy producing and playing so much. It just makes me feel so free and liberated.
For sure, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no. It's really... it's an important question, because everyone started for different reasons. Of course, we all love music, but sometimes it can start because of a trauma, or because you are heartbroken, or because you listen this artist and you want to do the same, or because some people are so introverted, it's their way to communicate with people. And I think we have all, like, everyone is joining at the same way, but we have all a different story to share. Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
I think my pleasure. It's important to know.
And there's a question from a previous guest for you. What would you do if you were not doing this?
Wow. I don't see myself far from the electronic music scene, but if really I'm not involved in the electronic music scene, what I would love to do, I really wanted to be a history teacher, because I'm very passionate about history in general, of France, of the world, and really like different period of the history, and I think I would be history teacher. Also with children, because it's also a way of communicating and of transmitting knowledge to people, and with young people it can be very cool, because they are so curious, and it's important to know where we are coming from with history, and to spread this history to young people.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much for being with us. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It was a really nice moment, and thanks again for the invitation. I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
Thank you.